Welcome to the 2022 Concacaf U20 Men's Championship here in Group H as Costa Rica and Jamaica kick things off in their quest to qualify for the 2023 World Cup, for the 2024 Olympics, and to hoist the trophy here in Concacaf. From Honduras, Joe Malfa with you for the action. 82 degrees, slight chance of rain and some wind throughout in San Pedro Sula. Costa Rica and Jamaica looking to get off on the right foot in a group here with the hosts and Antigua and Barbuda here in this tournament. We already have 4 teams slotted in the round of 16 based on qualifiers that were held back in November. So the remaining 12 teams that join them will be the top 3 nations from each of the 4 groups. So be in the top 3 in your group. You find a way into the round of 16 with the likes of Curacao, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Nicaragua, who are already through. The 4 nations that reach the semifinal here this year will qualify for the 2023 FIFA Men's U20 World Cup in Indonesia. And for the first time, this tournament also determines Olympic qualification, with the 2 finalists qualifying for Paris in 2024. We did not have this tournament, of course, in 2020 due to the pandemic. Had it in 2017 and 2018, both of those won by the United States. So they are the reigning champions here in the 2022 CONCACAF U20 Championship, and they got off to a great start. They're up 10-0 on St. Kitts and Nevis. So Costa Rica and Jamaica hoping for similar starts here in Group H. Teams are gathering in the tunnel, and once the national anthems reach their conclusion, we have kickoff between Costa Rica and Jamaica.
Damas y caballeros, démosle la bienvenida a los equipos nacionales de Costa Rica y Jamaica. Partido de esta tarde del campeonato sub-20 de Concacaf. Damas y caballeros, por favor, de pie. A continuación, los himnos nacionales de Costa Rica y Jamaica.
¡Noble patria, tu hermosa bandera! The emotion from the Costa Rican players, the intensity from the Jamaican players as they are ready to battle it out for 90 minutes to begin things in Group H. Vladimir Quesada, the head coach for Costa Rica, sends out a lineup that not only has a lot of youth experience for Costa Rica, they have senior experience. Harrison Bennett, he has 6 caps for Costa Rica, including starting that playoff last week against New Zealand. He had the assist on the goal that sent the Costa Rican senior team to the World Cup, and now he starts today for the U20 side. Same goes for Brandon Aguilera, 3 caps at the Costa Rican senior level. So plenty of experience, youth and senior, in there for this Costa Rican side, hoping to not only lift the trophy here in this tournament, but qualify for a 10th U20 World Cup. On the other side, Jamaica, a relative unknown in this one, but high hopes. A lot of players who have gone the route of a number of players on the senior team where they are dual nationals that could have qualified for England, but instead have chosen Jamaica. So it's a big unknown. So many players have received their first call-up for Jamaica at any level here in this tournament. Let's meet the officials. Ivan Barton of El Salvador leads the crew. Giovanni Garcia, Raimundo Feliz, the assistant referees, and Jose Torres is your 4th official. VAR is in the equation here in the Concacaf Under-20 Championship. Ekaterina Koroleva of the United States and Corey Richardson of the United States lead the VAR room as the captains exchange the banners of their countries. For the coin toss, Brandon Aguilera for Costa Rica and Christopher Pearson for Jamaica. Pearson had 1 appearance for Concacaf U15 Championship for Jamaica back in 2017 and now graduates to the U20s. There is that VAR room led by Katarina Koroleva and Corey Richardson, should we need to use it here today. And then your starting 11 for Marcel Gale and Jamaica. Kanaya Boyce Clark in goal. This is his first action in the Jamaican system after featuring for England at the U15, 16, 17, and 18 levels. And then on the back line, Luke Badley, his first call-up for Jamaica at any level. He has played for Chelsea in the U18 English Premier League over the last 2 years. Going further up the field, Tarek Zimenez has 2 caps at the senior level for Jamaica. It'll be Costa Rica from left to right in the red and blue. Jamaica from right to left in the yellow and black. At Estadio Francisco Morazan in San Pedro Sula, Honduras. Here we go. Group H action in the 2022 Concacaf Under-20 Championship. An early opportunity on a wide free kick from Jamaica. 4-year hiatus for this tournament. Last played in 2018, won by the United States then. So they are your defending champions. Honduras was supposed to host here in 2020. COVID, of course, impacted and changed that. From the set piece, lofted toward the penalty mark and headed clear by Sean Johnson. Kept alive by Devontae Campbell. Here's Bennett. Fresh off that assist in Qatar to send the senior team to the World Cup. That goal came in the 3rd minute, scored by Joel Campbell. It was Bennett running the flank on the left side. Put the ball in, Campbell did the rest. Bennett gives it away, taken centrally by Duncan McKenzie with room to roam. Tyler Roberts on the ground in front. It was loose for a moment before it was cleared by Sean Johnson. Devontae Campbell, Zion Scarlett in the area of it. Zion Scarlett belongs to Columbus Crew in Major League Soccer. Has played 3 games this season for their 3rd division affiliate in MLS Next Pro. And Zion Scarlett will be the target man for Jamaica in this tournament. At the end of May, he became the 2nd player from the Columbus Crew Academy to go on and sign a homegrown deal with the club. Here's Romain Blake, the 16-year-old, the youngest in the 11 for Jamaica. and settled down by Luke Badley. 34 appearances for Luke Badley with Chelsea in the U18 Premier League. Expected that he will graduate to Premier League 2 this year, which used to be a U23 league, has since now been moved to a U21 league as of this upcoming season. And that is where Badley is expected to play in the upcoming year. Tarek Jimenez gets it back into play. Tyler Roberts looking for a call, gets it back for McKenzie. Here's Bennett. Looking across the field, slots it centrally for Aguilera. Aguilera, the through ball, flag stays down for the moment. And it's in the hands of Kanaya Boyce Clark. 19-year-old goalkeeper. First call up for Jamaica after spending U15 through U18 with England. Ricardo Pena, a little bit overzealous, commits the foul. Gonzalez. Bennett battling for position. Johnson for Aguilera. Aguilera started his senior career in a debut on March 30th in World Cup qualifiers against the United States, the final of those octagonal round qualifiers, and he debuted for the senior team with an assist. Space here in the middle for Roberts as he carries. It's deflected, fortunately for Costa Rica, into the arms of Mora. How often do you see plays like that where the deflection takes it away from the goalkeeper and it's a cheap goal for one side? Byron Mora, fortunate to have been in the path of the deflection. The 19-year-old plays with Alajuelense. First time representing Costa Rica at any level and has one pro appearance under his belt for Alajuelense, where he has been a backup 7 times on the bench. And certainly a part of their future. Kanaya Boyce Clark got his first pro experience this last calendar year. He's part of the Reading FC system. All of his experience came with the Reading reserve team prior to this past year. But 2 loans into the 6th tier with St. Albans City and Welling United. Made 12 pro appearances with 3 clean sheets in the last calendar year before switching allegiances to Jamaica. Pena. Give it away on the left side and a jersey tug. That might be an early yellow. That's a transitional foul there. Seems like it'll just be a foul, a stern warning from Ivan Barton. Have a look. The intent clear from Sean Johnson. Stop the attack in transition. Lamont Rochester swings it in. Still loose and finally cleared by a sliding Douglas Sequeira. For any Costa Rican fans who think that name rings a bell, it does. His father, Douglas Sequeira Sr., had 42 appearances for the Costa Rican national team and 145 in his pro career for Deportivo Saprissa. And his father also participated for the Costa Rican U20s, qualified and played in the 1997 U20 World Cup. So Douglas Sequeira hoping to do the same thing his father did. Swung in from the corner and headed wide. Tarek Jimenez rose above the rest, steered it wide. Top 16 ranked teams based on the Concacaf U20 rankings were divided into 4 groups of 4. Round robin format, top 3 in each group advance to the round of 16, where Curacao, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Nicaragua wait after they got through an early round of qualification in November. When the draw was conducted, Jamaica was the 12th ranked entrant. Costa Rica was the 5th ranked entrant. So on paper, 7 spots separate them, but on the field, I don't believe they're separated by that much, especially with the influx of Jamaican talent that have switched allegiances from England. A new talent pool available for the Reggae Boys. Case can be made certainly that this, based on the draw, is the most difficult of the groups. Fortunately, top 3 in each make it through. Honduras, the 4th ranked entrant and the host. Costa Rica, the 5th ranked entrant. And Jamaica, probably undervalued as the 12th ranked entrant. Antigua and Barbuda round out the group. Third time that Jamaica has had a wide free kick in the attacking half. They've sent toward the box, and all 3 times Costa Rica has cleared with ease. And the first yellow card of the match is given here to Dorian Rodriguez. Rodriguez, another one of the young talents for Costa Rica, who plays with Alajuelense. Maybe a little bit late on the challenge to elicit the yellow. This is his first time representing Costa Rica at any level. Got some good playing time this past year for Alajuelense. 13 appearances, 3 goals for the 19-year-old. 10 minutes gone from Honduras. Scoreless between Costa Rica and Jamaica here in the first match of Group H in the 2022 Concacaf Under-20 Championship. Joe Malfa with you for the action. All the way to the left side, but just too far ahead of Andre Soto. Overall, this is the 28th edition of this tournament in some capacity, the 7th of the modern era. It's a tournament that has undergone a number of makeovers and shifts throughout the years, divided into 3 distinct eras. There was the Concacaf Youth Tournaments era that spanned from 1962 to 1996, spanning 16 editions, and the straightforward FIFA U20 World Cup qualifying tournament that took place from 1998 to 2007, 5 editions of that. And now the CONCACAF Men's U20 Championship as we know it since 2009, playing for this trophy. And even within that, there have been alterations to the competition format. This is the first year that we're using this format with the 4 different groups, top 3 in each advancing to the round of 16, joining the 4 earlier qualifiers. When we last played this tournament in 2018, there were 2 separate group phases. An early group stage that featured 6 teams per group. If you won your group in that portion of the tournament, of which there were 6 groups, you would enter the second group stage. Contact edge of the area and a free kick coming for Jamaica. Costa Rica a bit careless in the first dozen minutes in terms of all the fouls. This is the one best position though for Jamaica to go for goal. Timothy Arias just getting in the way on the left leg and committing the foul. Marton measures out the wall. Who will it be for Jamaica? Tarek Zimenez, Christopher Pearson. Also Duncan McKenzie in the mix. Byron Mora has his wall set. Now he just has to figure out who's taking the free kick. 4 possible options. Struck just wide by Duncan McKenzie. Not a bad effort for the 18-year-old in his first call up for Jamaica at any level. Turned over in the defensive third by Costa Rica. Here's Campbell. Slots it through. McKenzie, another chance. This one just wide again. Twice in 30 seconds. And Duncan McKenzie was within inches to a foot from opening the scoring for the Reggae Boys. Tico's perhaps fortunate to still be scoreless. Have another look. Mora was worried about it. Didn't miss by much. Romain Blake being checked on by Ivan Barton. Blake, the 16-year-old, again, the youngest in the starting 11 for Jamaica. It's his first call-up. He has dressed for Waterhouse in the Jamaican Premier League, but has yet to appear in a match. Badly all the way back for Boyce Clark, who sends it the length of the field. McKenzie up the right side, cutting through. Blocked out toward the corner flag, and it's to the right side, I believe, of that flag. It should be a throw-in for Costa Rica as Jamaica continues to advance that pressure up the field. Tyler Roberts was the one who blocked that clearance attempt from Julian Gonzalez. Aguilera dispossessed. Early stages, Jamaica the aggressors and the better of the two sides. Nothing yet to show for it, except a couple of near misses by Duncan McKenzie. Not a lot of U20 competition through the years, and this tournament hasn't happened since 2018. So again, not the easiest task to rank the teams and set up the pots for the draw. Jamaica certainly a team to watch for as this tournament goes along. Ranked 12th in the U20 rankings, but I think they're going to showcase here in this tournament that they are better than that ranking indicates. Just an influx of young talent in this Jamaican program. Three of the starters for Jamaica. And then another player on the bench. All play in England, are within maybe a year or two from making English Premier League debuts. MLS talent as well, with Kobe Thomas on the bench and Zion Scarlett in the 11. And just about everybody else plays professionally in Jamaica with either Cavalier or Waterhouse. Lone exception being Alexander Bicknell on the bench, plays in Germany in the U17 Bundesliga. A lot of talent scattered throughout this Jamaican roster. Santiago Vanderputten. Along for Sakara. Sent down the wing, into the path of Johnson, played centrally. Aguilera keeps it alive. Bennett calling for it. Harrison Bennett steps over it and lost it. Aguilera, the captain, knocked away by Malachi Douglas. Aguilera just 2 weeks ago started the Concacaf Nations League opener for the senior team. Sends it in. Pena back out for Aguilera. With 3 of the 4 in each group advancing to the round of 16, odds are pretty good, especially for 2 nations like Costa Rica and Jamaica of getting through to the next phase in that round of 16. But there is incentive to go on and win the group. The 4 group winners will be paired up with the 4 qualifiers from November, who are the 4 lowest ranked teams among the U20s in this tournament. For Group H, the winner will get Curacao in that first round of 16 match on June the 25th, a week from now. So get through any way you can, of course, to the round of 16, but incentive for all the teams in each group to go on and win their respective groups. Could set you up with a bit easier of a path to work your way through the knockout phases. Aguilera. Here's Bennett. Bennett on his left foot, not a bad effort, always rising. For the senior team, they use him on the left side. Really good distributor of the ball, using his speed up and down that left flank, but with the U20s, they invert him on the right side so he can have that option to cut in and shoot on his preferred left foot. Early on, possession 60-40 in favor of Jamaica, out shooting Costa Rica 3-1. And the 2 dangerous chances that were inches wide from Duncan McKenzie. Last few minutes, though, Tico starting to find their footing a bit more in the attacking half. Carried forward by Sean Johnson. And it's the first corner of the match for the Ticos. Aguilera ventures out to take it. Aguilera has played at every level for Costa Rica. U15, U17, was a regular in the lineup back in 2019 for the Concacaf Under-17 Championship. He plays it short for Bennett. Bennett swings it toward the back post, headed onward, but wide. And Kanaya Boyce Clark a bit unhappy with the way his back line defended that. Too easy for Santiago Vanderputten to get that header on. But it was the 2 players with senior caps for Costa Rica combining on that corner. Played short by Aguilera into Bennett. Harrison Bennett played himself squarely into the mix for the senior team. 31 appearances, a goal, and 4 assists over the last year with Herediano in Costa Rica. Too good for Luis Fernando Suarez to ignore at the senior level, and gave him 4 appearances in World Cup qualifying and the trust to start. Bennett, then a 17-year-old as of June 14th when that playoff was played, to trust him with the start. And he rewarded that trust with an assist in the 3rd minute. So he celebrated qualification in the World Cup on the 14th, and then Bennett celebrated his 18th birthday on the 15th. And now 3 days later, he's in Honduras, hoping to get the U20s to the World Cup and beyond that to the Olympics. And the yellow card issued to Lamont Rochester.
Su atención, por favor. En el minuto 33, amarilla para el jugador Rochester de Jamaica.
Offside flag up on Dorian Rodriguez. Costa Rica has twice won this tournament. Back in 2009, they won it here in the modern era ever since it became the Concacaf Men's U20 Championship. They beat United States in that final, made it back to the final in 2011, where they lost to Mexico. And they have not been to the final since. There are levels to it this year under this new format. Your first object is to qualify into the semifinal. Get through to the semis, you punch your ticket to the World Cup in 2023. Win your semifinal matchup and make the final. You're in the Olympics in 2024 in Paris. And then, of course, you win the final, you lift the trophy. So 3 objectives for all the nations who hope to contend here. Only one will accomplish all 3. 4 will check that first box, and only 2 will check the second, with those 2 Olympic spots up for grabs for the first ever time. This is the first batch of qualification here for the 2023 Under-20 World Cup. The only team so far with a ticket punched as the host nations, Indonesia. Appears as if VAR is looking at something, unclear what, and the check is over. Ivan Barton waves on the play. Brought in by Bennett. Bennett frees up some space, puts it on the ground in front, and it's cleared by Badley. The Chelsea man in his first call-up for Jamaica after 2 caps for England at the U17 level. The anchor on the back line. Pena feeds for Gonzalez. Has Soto in front. Andre Soto. Overlap coming from Gonzalez, sent back his way at the end line. Kept in play. On the turn, Rodriguez. Shot blocked. Laid back off for Arias. Pena's strike. Dealt with by Boyce Clark. Nothing too threatening for Kanaya Boyce Clark so far. In the first match of the tournament, finished 10-0 in favor of the United States over St. Kitts and Nevis. That action taking place in Group E. Cuba and Canada, the other two teams in that group. Cuba and Canada will meet later today, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Caught in by Soto. Has options in the box. His cross deflected and headed away by Rochester. Final match this evening will be Honduras here against Antigua and Barbuda to round things out in Group H for the day. And then tomorrow we have play in Groups F and Group G. Group F will begin with Mexico against Suriname and Haiti against Trinidad and Tobago. Group G begins with El Salvador against Guatemala and Panama against Aruba. Heavy challenge from behind. Duncan McKenzie, once he gets to his feet, will join Lamont Rochester in the book with yellows for Jamaica. Only Dorian Rodriguez in the book so far for Costa Rica.
Su atención, por favor. Tarjeta amarilla para el jugador número 10 de Jamaica, Duncan McKenzie, en el minuto 30.
Half an hour gone, still scoreless between Costa Rica and Jamaica. Joe Malfa with you from San Pedro Sula, Honduras. First match of Group H in the 2022 U20 Championship. Swung in by Aguilera, headed on, the first save by Boyce Clark. Stopped it right on the line. A free header for Douglas Sequeira. Trying to spring the counter the other way on the punt. That was the fourth shot now for Costa Rica. Second of which was directed on target. Bennett. A little bit too much in the end. Costa Rica, you could tell, has grown into this game. Early on, it was Jamaica occupying a lot of the territory in the attacking half, forcing the Costa Rican back line into turnovers. And the field is now flipped. All of a sudden, it's Marcel Gale looking for answers. And Boyce Clark is going to go down. He was pointing to his left leg as he was holding up the goal kick. The backup is Ricardo Watson, 18-year-old who plays with Waterhouse. Just joined this offseason Waterhouse after spending time with Cavalier. It's his first ever call-up for Jamaica at any level. Not that Kanaya Boyce Clark had any experience for Jamaica coming in either, but he at least had international experience. U15, 16, 17, and 18 with England. It would be the first ever international appearance for Ricardo Watson at any level if Boyce Clark cannot continue. On an 82-degree day, the rest of the players use this as a de facto cooling break, while Boyce Clark receives the necessary attention. Last time we had this tournament in 2018. Jamaica was in that first group stage, grouped in with Mexico, Grenada, Nicaragua, Aruba, and St. Martin. And Jamaica finished tied with Mexico on 13 points, but Mexico's superior goal differential put them through to the second group stage. And then from there into the knockout round. Costa Rica, on the other hand, was able to advance out of their initial group, lumped in with Haiti, St. Lucia, Barbados, and Bermuda. They went a perfect 4-0-0 with a goal differential of plus 14. That's 14 goals for and none allowed in that initial group stage. But in that second group stage, with Honduras and the United States in their group and qualification to the World Cup and into the Final Four on the line, Costa Rica ended up with a draw and a loss, while the U.S. and Honduras qualified for the 2019 U20 World Cup. Bennett and Aguilera intertwining again. Aguilera. Pena left it short. Well read and intercepted on the back end. But given right back to Costa Rica. Jamaica has struggled to advance past the halfway line the last 10-12 minutes. Around the edge, Soto. Falling for a volley, that's wide. Sean Johnson kind of caught in between as he hopped into the shot. Boyce Clark for now looks to be okay as he gets it back into play. A mess nearly made of it by Romain Blake. And now it'll be Andre Soto. Rather, Timothy Arias receiving the yellow. 17-year-old is on his way to the University of Central Florida. He'll be a teammate of Brandon Calderon, who is a teammate of his right here on this U20 team. So a pair of U20 Ticos have enrolled early this spring at UCF and will be playing collegiately this fall in the United States. A lot of speed for Arias around that left side. Ran track in high school. His first appearance here with the U20s after he competed with the U15s and U17s.
En el minuto 36.
Vanderputten heads it across midfield. Well done by Douglas to move it along on the turn. Campbell. Campbell slots it through for Rochester. Here's Campbell. Rodriguez holds it up, and he gets it out to the left side for Gonzalez, looking for Soto. Runs too strong. Most of Costa Rica's positive attacks have come down the right side through Bennett and Aguilera. Haven't been able to get the likes of Gonzalez and Soto on the same page on the left side. Here's Tyler Roberts turning the corner with space. Roberts, that last touch a little bit too heavy. And finally cleared by Sequeira. Tyler Roberts plays with Wolves in England. His first call up for Jamaica, 32 appearances, 11 goals, and 4 assists with Wolves in the U18 English Premier League. And that success got him bumped up to EPL 2 this year, where he had 5 appearances and a goal. So Tyler Roberts on the rise in that Wolves organization. A prime candidate this year, perhaps, for a loan to a side in the 2nd or 3rd division in England, if Wolves don't decide to use him himself. Swung in by McKenzie, punched away by Mora. And all the way back for Boyce Clark. Taken down by Roberts. Pearson along for Campbell. Campbell lofts it up there. Zion Scarlett gave it a look, but not enough contact on it to steer it goalward and test out Byron Mora. Jamaica have come close. Those 2 shots from McKenzie that were inches wide. But Mora has yet to make a save on a shot on goal. Claims of handball from Costa Rica. Remember, VAR is in the equation in this tournament, so that one might take a second look. For now, play continues with Bennett toward the back post, confident off his line. Boyce Clark. Seemed like it might have just run off the chest of the defender, Romain Blake. The option is there for a check if Iman Barton deems it necessary, or if he's alerted by Katarina Koroleva and Corey Richardson in the VAR room. But it doesn't seem like that is the case. Here's Jimenez. Roberts for Jimenez down the right side. As Roberts went down, Jimenez continued the attack. There was never a signal for advantage, so despite the protest from Jamaica, it doesn't seem like that initial contact against Roberts would have been given as a foul. Very well contested first half between these 2 nations. They've each had their spells of the control. Some good looks goalward. And a lot of talent on display. The golden generation of Costa Rica is just 4 days removed from qualifying for yet another World Cup. They didn't really have a middle generation there. Everybody who helped them in their qualifying efforts was either 30 and older or 22 and younger. But that a testament to what might be a new wave for the Ticos, led by a couple of the players out there today, in Bennett and Aguilera, who both suited up in World Cup qualifiers for the senior team over the last couple of months. And here is Aguilera on the ball. Now Bennett. Up the left side for Soto. Blocked by Jimenez, who himself appeared in the World Cup qualifiers for Jamaica at the senior level. Twice he did so. Soto out for a corner kick. With the ball finally stopping for the first time after that last penalty shot by Costa Rica. It seems like finally some of the players went over to Ivan Barton and received the explanation as to why no handball. Curled in back post, headed goalward. It's blocked on the way through. Rochester got his face in the way of it. Otherwise, Boyce Clark might have been called in the question. Aguilera again. Handed away by Campbell. .45 minute of 45 in this first half between Costa Rica and Jamaica, still in a dead heat. Costa Rica's come on strong the last 20 minutes of this first half after Jamaica controlled the early portions of it. 6 shots each. Possession near 50-50, and now 4 minutes tacked on.
Ha indicado que se agregarán por lo menos 4 minutos al primer tiempo de juego.
Vanderputten through for Aguilera. On that one of a left foot. Puts it right on the foot of Gonzalez. Terrific first touch by the left back. Soto would like that one back. Promising build initially. Pena searching for it. Bennett, he found it over the right shoulder. Bennett turning Rochester around. He's got to be careful on the yellow card. Well defended by Rochester. You can't lunge in on a yellow. You were right inside that penalty line. Had to be extremely careful. and still did enough to win it and spring the attack the other way now through Campbell. Rochester, perhaps regarded as sort of the other member of that back line with all the hype around Luke Badley and what he's doing in the Chelsea organization overseas. But Rochester, plenty experienced himself as a center back. 16 appearances this past season in the Jamaican Premier League with Cavalier. And a starter, Rochester was back in 2019 in the U17 championship for Jamaica. In toward Bennett, headed across frame. It falls in the area for a moment. Now Pena. Give and go, back for Pena, driven over the bar. One last opportunity in this first half. Ricardo Pena took it well. On the layoff from Andre Soto. 17-year-old Pena plays with football consultants in Costa Rica and previously capped at the U15 and 17 levels. The goal kick should take us to the halftime whistle. Back and forth affair in this first half. And there it is, the signal from Ivan Barton to end the first 45. It's scoreless, but there was plenty of action between Costa Rica and Jamaica. Both sides enjoyed stretches where they were the aggressor, finding the opportunities. 6-6 in terms of the shots is how we end it, and possession near a dead heat as well. All adding up to a scoreless score line, and all to play for in the final 45 from Honduras.
The official Concacaf app. No matter where you are or who you're rooting for, you can watch your favorite competitions, teams, and players on the go. Get the latest news on all things Concacaf. Get access to stats, play-by-play, players' information, schedule, and standings. Get instant notifications and alerts. Discover other fans like you. And show your support in social media with our exclusive camera filters. All of that and much more. Take your Concacaf experience to the next level. Download now the official Concacaf app. Available on the App Store and Google Play. Concacaf app. No matter where you are or who you're rooting for, you can watch your favorite competitions, teams, and players on the go. Get the latest news on all things Concacaf. Get access to stats, play-by-play, players' information, schedule, and standings. Get instant notifications and alerts. Discover other fans like you. And show your support in social media with our exclusive camera filters. All of that and much more. Take your Concacaf experience to the next level. Download now the official Concacaf app. Available on the App Store and Google Play. official Concacaf app. No matter where you are or who you're rooting for, you can watch your favorite competitions, teams, and players on the go. Get the latest news on all things Concacaf. Get access to stats, play-by-play, players' information, schedule, and standings. Get instant notifications and alerts. Discover other fans like you. And show your support in social media with our exclusive camera filters. All of that and much more. Take your Concacaf experience to the next level. Download now the official Concacaf app. Available on the App Store and Google Play. Concacaf app. No matter where you are or who you're rooting for, you can watch your favorite competitions, teams, and players on the go. Get the latest news on all things Concacaf. Get access to stats, play-by-play, players' information, schedule, and standings. Get instant notifications and alerts. Discover other fans like you. And show your support in social media with our exclusive camera filters. All of that and much more.
Ready to begin half number 2 from Honduras. One change to get you from the break on the Jamaican side as we're off for the second 45. 0 for Costa Rica, 0 for Jamaica. All to play for in the final 45. Kobe Thomas in for Malachi Douglas on the Jamaica side as the Inter-Miami CF player takes the field. Kobe Thomas, 16 years of age, already has 2 goals in 5 games this season for Inter-Miami CF2 in MLS Next Pro. Tyler Roberts calling for it on the right side in space. McKenzie. Had either Thomas or McKenzie noticed initially that run of Roberts, he might have been in alone. some housekeeping work for Sean Johnson. Yvonne Barton wanted that cone a little bit further away from the line, where those extra balls around the outside of the field are positioned. Jimenez taken down, and that's Timothy Arias, who's on a yellow card and has to be careful. He's getting a stern warning here from Barton. Maybe a reminder he's got a yellow, and the next one he might not be so lenient. And that maybe gets Vladimir Quesada thinking, do you try to make a quick switch here and get Arias off the field? That's one right there where had he not had the first yellow, he may have gone on to pick it up there, but it's a harsh second yellow to give. Campbell is pressuring on that side. It's that same high press that Jamaica used in the early portion of this game that gave Costa Rica some issues. Almost won there by Zion Scarlett, but committed the foul from behind. All body, no ball. He didn't really argue it too much either. Kobe Thomas goes back with it, and Rochester sends it forward. Play on, says Barton. McKenzie. Not quite the right weight on that one for Roberts. Sakara headed back to Boyce Clark. Calmly done by Tariq Jimenez. Campbell was yanked from behind, continued his run, advantages played. Now at the very end, Pena touches it away. Aguilera. Bennett. All the way back for Boyce Clark. Not much going on in the first 5 minutes of half number 2 after a first half. So a combined 13 shots, chances back and forth for both teams. Pearson, the captain. Now Roberts. Bennett, who has switched over to the left side in half number 2 after playing on the right wing the first 45. Roberts. Over for Jimenez. Too heavy from McKenzie. Aguilera tries to dribble it back toward his own goal. Here's Bennett. Looks over the shoulder, sees the pressure from Jimenez, goes down. That's a good professional foul from the 16-year-old Romain Blake. Costa Rica had numbers. Got himself between the body and the ball. Aguilera will deliver it. Backside of the 6, headed goalward. Might have taken a deflection. Didn't quite come off the head of Vander Putten cleanly. Seemed like it came off of somebody's shoulder. Very well might have been his own as he snapped the header down. McKenzie. Here's Roberts. Roberts cutting, looking for a lane, goes down, and the foul the other way. Simulation called against Roberts and a yellow card to boot. Let's have another look here. Not much there. Looked like Sequeira missed him. That's an interesting gray area there, being that it was in the box. VAR would have the ability to look at it, and if they did deem that Sequeira made contact enough for it to have been a foul, could have had a complete 180. And the yellow card would be taken away, and the penalty would be given. Maybe they are giving it a check. Barton hasn't yet signaled for the ball to be put back into play. He's still holding it up. On that look we saw, it didn't seem like there was much contact, where it appeared as if Barton got the initial call correct. But Katerina Koroleva and Corey Richardson, the American VAR officials, are taking a look. And the check is over. Play on. Seemed like Barton got it right the first time, and he did. That's 3 players on the field with a yellow card for Jamaica. Duncan McKenzie, Lamont Rochester, and Tyler Roberts. 2 on the other side for Costa Rica. Dorian Rodriguez and Timothy Arias. Good step by Pena. Gets it along for Aguilera. Bennett wants it on the left side. Aguilera forced it centrally. Now it's sent Bennett's way. Aguilera on his left foot, tried to cut it back in the middle. Pena's been steady. His presence in the midfield. Here he is again. Pena's strike just wide. Boys, Clark had it the whole way. Not a bad effort, but didn't quite curl enough. About a foot wide from Pena. Good effort to try and keep that in from Gonzalez, but too far out of reach. Played along for Luke Badley. A lot of contact there from behind by Sean Johnson as Devontae Campbell tried to shake free. This is Sean Johnson's first time representing Costa Rica at any level. 27 appearances along the back line for Guanacasteca in Costa Rica the last year for the 19-year-old. Almost everybody in the starting 11 for Costa Rica today has some sort of professional experience in Costa Rica. Two exceptions to that being Ricardo Peña and Timothy Arias. Aguilera, he's coming off a career year. Up towards Soto. And kept in by Soto. Sends it in, the header is on and in! Dorian Rodriguez, the opener for the Ticos. The Alajuelense product scored 3 times in the past year for his club, and now gets one for his country.
Damas y caballeros, gol de Costa Rica en el minuto 58 por el número 9, Dorian Rodriguez.
Well done by Soto to keep this one in here. He could have let it run out for a corner, but recognized that Jamaica was a bit stretched out in transition, and the back line just caught ball watching as Rodriguez headed it home. Powerful snap header to the upper 90. Boyce Clark couldn't do much about it. How will Jamaica respond now? Goals change games. This one was back and forth, just begging for one of the two sides to find that opening goal. Costa Rica did, and now Jamaica's forced to respond. Aguilera forces his way through. Aguilera to the end line, puts it across, nobody there at the back post. Before that last attack, I mentioned that he's coming off of a career year. Started his career with Alajuelense. Last year was his first at Guanacasteca. 4 goals, 3 assists in 18 performances. Jamaica were looking for the quick response, but that giveaway will put an end to any momentum that attack might have had. One hour gone, half an hour to go. From Honduras, Joe Malfa with you. Costa Rica 1, Jamaica nothing on the goal scored just 2 minutes ago by Dorian Rodriguez on the 10th shot of the game. The Ticos gives them the edge here in the first match in Group H of the 2022 Concacaf Men's U20 Championship. Top 3 teams in each of the 4 groups will make it through to the round of 16, where they will join Curacao, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Nicaragua, who came through the November round of qualifying directly into that round of 16. The other 2 nations rounding out this group are the hosts, Honduras, who will take on Antigua and Barbuda later tonight. And by the time that match kicks off, we will know who leads this group. Will either be Costa Rica, Jamaica, or a joint share of the lead with 1 point each. As of right now, it would be the Ticos with the first 3 points of the group. 3 goals and 13 appearances for Dorian Rodriguez in the last calendar year with Alajuelense. A career that's seemingly ready to take off. First time representing Costa Rica on the international stage at any level here. And in that first game, gets that first goal. Aguilera for Bennett. Harrison Bennett cuts in. Bennett back to his left foot. Bennett strike stopped by Boyce Clark. Some space and time for Devontae Campbell. Waits for some help. Thomas. On the turn. Zion Scarlett couldn't whip that hip around. The 18-year-old Zion Scarlett relatively quiet in this match. And that was his last involvement. Here comes Jamari Clark. Tyler Roberts will also exit as Chad James comes on. Chad James, the 17-year-old, unattached at the moment, earning his first call into a Jamaican side. And Jamari Clark, another one of those players currently in England who's making his Jamaican debut, the 18-year-old, a teammate of the goalkeeper, Kanaya Boyce Clark at Reading FC. Aguilera for Gonzalez. Gonzalez squares it in front, and a foul coming the other way against Andre Soto. We'll see if Jamari Clark can be a difference maker off the bench. The 18-year-old in his young career so far has split time between the U18 Premier League and EPL2, the U23 league that is now to become a U21 league. But 42 total appearances with 14 goals and 5 assists. And last season, actually, Reading gave him a chance in the EFL Championship. Scored twice in 12 appearances. So Jamari Clark, already a proven track record professionally, now making his Jamaican debut for the U20 side. Look back at that last challenge that went against Andre Soto. And now some changes on the Costa Rican side. Andre Soto will not continue. Yosimar Alcocer will enter. And that's it for Timothy Arias. As Andre Salmeron enters. Here's Clark, his first chance the other way, didn't catch all of it. Cleared away from the keeper. Miscommunication at the back keeps the attack alive now for Jamaica as Kobe Thomas sends it across. Somebody missed a shout there, whether it was the keeper, Byron Mora, or his defender. No harm in the end, but a dangerous moment that could have been avoided. Here's Bennett winning a corner. Alcocer, 17-year-old striker, 2 goals in 19 games with 1 assist over the last year for Alajuelense. And Andre Salmeron, a teammate of Ricardo Peña, the number 6 in the midfield at Football Consultants. Aguilera's corner over everybody, but tracked down by Salmeron. Almost kept it in. Out for a throw-in for Jamaica down near their own corner flag. Much better from Costa Rica overall in the second half than the first. Dictating the play, out shooting Jamaica 4-1 through 20 minutes. And the all-important strike from the number 9, Dorian Rodriguez, a header to the upper 90, beating Concacaf Clark for the lone goal of the match. Pearson over for James, and now McKenzie. Stoppage from Barton as he beckons the trainers across the field. Finally getting back to his feet, Devontae Campbell. Really strong showing today from Campbell. Just like that, he stays down. Was ready to get back up. And went right back down. Now they ask for the stretcher to come across the field. He's on the bench for Jamaica back in January for a friendly against Peru. This is his first action at the youth level, but he's already gotten those looks from the senior team. And here's a look back at the goal. What's separating these teams right now? A strong header into the upper 90 by Rodriguez. You have to give credit to Soto as well for that ball. He hustled to keep it in instead of letting it go out for a corner because he recognized they had options and they had a stretched out Jamaican defense. Puts a dime of a ball on the forehead of Rodriguez. $20 remaining for Jamaica to try to find a way back into this. Clark, the substitute. The one time it was sent his way, seemed like he was able to make an impact. But they haven't found his feet since then. Bennett with Rodriguez, pushes it ahead. Jamaica haven't really found the opportunities to go forward in this second half as they did in the first. Part of that going down by a goal a dozen minutes ago has allowed Costa Rica to lock in a bit more. Clark sends it through to James. Contact there. Whistle blows outside of the area or inside. Barton says inside. Penalty for Jamaica. It's the two substitutes combining. They came in at the same interval. Clark and James. A yellow given to Gonzalez. And now life for Jamaica. A chance to level it from 12 yards out. The run picked out. Let's see, where's that contact? Seemed like it was in the area, and Barton got it right. It maybe starts there, but there was a second nudge from Gonzalez that took it into the area. The first contact might have happened outside, but it wasn't the last contact. And it seems like this is set in stone, this call. Duncan McKenzie positions the penalty. Byron Mora looks on. And now Barton holds it up. Only question here would be whether or not it was inside or outside the area. And again, you saw the initial contact might have happened a little bit earlier, but there seemed to be more contact after that that finally brought McKenzie down. Rather, James down, as McKenzie now is set to take the penalty. Substitution here as well, as Jamon Barclay has come out onto the field. Here it is, Duncan McKenzie against Byron Mora. McKenzie is stopped by Mora. The lifeline for Jamaica taken away by the left hand of Byron Mora. Duncan McKenzie has been so close on a couple of occasions today. Devontae Campbell was the one lifted for Jamon Barclay. Corner driven in, Mora frozen. It was an open header there for James, but he only got a glance of it as it went wide. Here's a look. Did well to just keep that right foot on the line and push off. A strong enough left hand to keep that one out. McKenzie kept it a little bit too close to Mora, but it had enough power on it where it still had a chance. Mora stayed strong, and with a quarter of an hour remaining, it's still Costa Rica 1, Jamaica nothing. That perhaps, however, was a glance at just exactly what Jamari Clark can do. Terrific last couple of years in the U18 and 23 English Premier League. First look here at 18 years old for Jamaica with the U20s. And just minutes after coming on, sparks the attack that leads to a penalty. Zimenez's shot is pulled well wide. James, who won the penalty, cuts in on his own, takes the shot denied by Mora. Wow, has Chad James provided a spark for Jamaica. Struck that one well, but Mora run it the whole way going to that far post. Now perhaps a chance for Costa Rica in transition to put this one away with an insurance goal. It's Bennett whose shot is blocked. Here's Chad James again. James has the confidence right now, goes right at Pena, who perhaps wisely takes him down. Split a pair of Ticos, got past the third. There was only one place for him to go with that shot because Douglas Sequeira was attached to his right hip. Wouldn't have been able, Chad James, to cut that one in the near post. That's good goalkeeping. The instincts from Mora realizing that and already cheating toward that far post to get a jump on that laser beam. Flown it in from the free kick and headed away. Up toward Clark again. And the foul is called against Jamaica. Yellow card against Clark as well. Ooh, right there for getting the elbow up into the face. At first glance, it looked like they both went straight up for it, but closer look, you can certainly see the elbow and the proper call from Ivan Barton, who has officiated a terrific match so far. We have the benefit of replay. He does not. Well, I guess he does, with VAR being an option, but each of the times that VAR has paused the match for a quick look, they've gone with Barton's initial call. Four changes have been made by Jamaica, just 2 for Costa Rica. So 1 left for the Reggae Boys and 3 for the Ticos. Unsure of what this break might be for. It's a pause for a potential VAR check as he's talking into the earpiece and holding up the play. The only thing it could possibly be is if they want to elevate that to a red card on the elbow from Jamari Clark. And for the first time, we will have an extended check here as Barton goes over to the monitor. Imagine this has to be for a potential red card check on that elbow by Clark. That's what they're looking at. Was it intentional? Was it violent? Was it reckless? Or was it 2 players going up for a ball and the elbow connected? You could see he's trying to snap the head to his left in the hopes of redirecting this toward goal. Is it clear and obvious that the intent was an elbow to the face, or was it a natural motion as he rose to try and direct it goalward? The elbow extended, but again, as his momentum is carrying him up to try and snap that header goalward, it's naturally going to take you that way. This will be a very tough one to overturn. Has to be clear and obvious. And it's up to Ivan Barton over there having a look. Here's the decision. And play on, just a yellow. Got it right in the first place. Hard to disagree. Aguilera. Ticos would like some insurance the way that Jamaica has been pressing the last few minutes. Out wide, right into Boyce Clark. Julian Gonzalez put it right in his chest. Splitting the back line here, Alcocer lays it off for Rodriguez. Swept away, good tackle by Luke Badley. Thomas lost it, and he commits the foul. This is a good spot here for Costa Rica to try and find that second goal they've been looking for. But first a sub, as Aguilera positions the free kick. Joel Alaman and Brendan Calderon, the two getting ready. They'll hold off on those subs for now. Aguilera lines up the free kick. The captain had 4 goals this year for Guanacasteca in Costa Rica. Aguilera puts it through the wall, but no trouble at all for Boyce Clark. And now we'll have those changes. It's the goal scorer, Dorian Rodriguez, coming out, as well as the captain, Brandon Aguilera. The other of the two Ticos who enrolled early at UCF collegiately in the United States, entering the match now in Calderon. The other being Timothy Arias, who departed a bit ago. And Luis Watson, the final sub for Jamaica. In for Lamont Rochester. Here's Chad James. Time wearing thin now on Jamaica. James. You imagine the stoppage time number will be generous, given the stoppage for the penalty kick and the VAR check. Bennett, rather Alcocer on that cross attempt. Gets it back off the deflection. Alcocer leaves it for Gonzalez. Julian Gonzalez. Bennett plays it in to the end line. Boys, Clark knocks it away. Bennett now wearing the captain's armband. Still loose for Alaman. Can he turn? No, he lays it off instead for a drive off the crossbar. Salmeron had a chance to put it away. The goal's still rattling from that one. Play on, says Barton, and that one will end the attack there as Pena wisely takes the yellow. Salmeron didn't miss by much in his attempt to put this game away. He could have picked up his own yellow there. And then the next tactical foul by Pena. Barton could have gotten them both, but he just got Pena. Well, Costa Rica have had chances to put this game away with a second. Jamaica still hanging around as we are into the 90th minute, awaiting word on stoppage time. And again, it could be hefty with some of the injuries we've seen in this second half, plus the stoppage for the penalty and the VAR check. Could still be plenty of time in this one for Jamaica to find an equalizer. It still is 1-0 because of the heroic effort of Byron Mora stopping that penalty taken by the man hobbling off the field, Duncan McKenzie. Did McKenzie leave it a little bit too close to Mora? Perhaps. But he put his laces through it, and it had a lot of power. Oftentimes, you might see a kick like that where it still maybe hits the goalkeeper's fingers, but has enough power to carry it in. But a very strong palm by Mora, able to force it out. And here is the fifth substitution now for Costa Rica. Justin Telleria in for Harrison Bennett. So the captain's armband gets handed off again. And there is the number. I knew it'd be big. It's 8 minutes of added time for Jamaica to find an equalizer.
Su atención, por favor, sustitución en Costa Rica. En el minuto 90+1. Sale Jamison Bennett con el número 17 en esa Jockey Peñeña.
So 8 minutes remaining for Costa Rica to try and see this one over the finish line for 3 points. To start off, Group H on the right foot, put in front for Telleria. In a scenario here where the top 3 teams in each group advance into the knockout round, you'd like to think that with 3 points in your opener for Costa Rica, you'd be very hard-pressed not to find some way through into the next round. Not a guarantee, but you win your first, you're in terrific shape. And it just comes down to a matter of seeding, whether you come through as the first, second, or third ranked team in the group, which has an impact on your potential path through the knockout stages. Remember, the group winner here in Group H draws Curaçao in the round of 16. So the group winners have the advantage of playing one of those preceded lower-ranked sides that came through the November qualifying. Here's Salmeron. Costa Rica has twice won this tournament in its history, the 28th edition overall. They last won it in '09. Chad James cuts it back for Kobe Thomas. Over the top toward Clark. Didn't have enough steam. Clark was waiting all alone after he beat Sequeira. They've had opportunities, Jamaica. 13 shots in the match. 6 of those on target. It's the same 13 on the other side for Costa Rica. Except Costa Rica has had an extra one go on target. And that extra one found the target all the way back in the 58th minute, courtesy of Dorian Rodriguez. 5 minutes remaining for Jamaica to try and track down that goal they allowed about a half an hour ago. And they'll have a chance from the corner as Tarek Jimenez is able to win it. Will Byron Mora be asked to make at least one more major stop? He's made 6, including the one from the penalty spot. Floated all the way to the backside, headed centrally. It's loose in front for a moment. There were 4 yellow jerseys there. The only red jersey belonging to Telleria, and he was able to clear. Mora reads it well, takes the contact and goes down. Brave goalkeeping from Byron Mora. We'll see if anything else is added at the end here. Maybe a minute or so for this stoppage now. At this stage of a match, especially in a tournament like this, you can get into some of the dark arts of the game, but it doesn't seem like that's the case for Mora. He took, seemed like 2 or 3 blows as he ranged forward. A couple of yellow jerseys around him, all making contact. Just very brave goalkeeping from the 19-year-old who has made 1 professional appearance with Alajuelense 7 times. He's also been on the bench. And you can see the mark there on his leg. Oftentimes you might, at a late stage of a game like this, get a goalkeeper or a player who is making a meal out of something that wasn't really nefarious, but you can see the mark on his thigh. And you can see the signal from Ivan Barton saying there are 4 minutes remaining from now after that stoppage. So on your clock, it will read 96 shortly. But based on that last signal from Barton, this is going to about 99 or 99:30 rather than just 98 after that latest break in the action. Three major things at stake here. Of course, the trophy as the U20 champions. The final 4 will all qualify for next year's U20 World Cup. And the 2 who play in the final will punch a ticket to the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Every nation in this tournament wants to check all 3 boxes. Only one will check all 3. Clark goes down, and he got the call. Another penalty for Jamaica. And Clark is walking right up to it. He wants it. There's a bit of an argument going on now between Clark and Tarek Jimenez, and Clark won the argument. He won the penalty. He's been lively since he's come into the match, and he wants it. After the two exchanged words in an argument over who would take the penalty, now Jimenez is over to offer some words of encouragement, it seems, to Jamari Clark. Byron Mora has already made one stop. He denied Duncan McKenzie back in the 78th minute. Rather, the 74th minute, excuse me. So just over 20 minutes later, Mora stares down the barrel of yet another penalty. This time it's Jamari Clark. With about 2 minutes remaining in the match, can Jamaica finally equalize? They've been pushing for it over the last 10 minutes. Jamari Clark calmly buries it, and Jamaica equalizes. He drew the penalty, he scored the penalty. And the 18-year-old who plays at Reading FC might have just stolen a point for his team. It's his first call-up for Jamaica at any level. All he's done for Reading is score. In the U18 Premier League and the U23 Premier League, 14 goals in 42 games. He warranted a look in the second division professionally. 12 appearances, 2 goals for the big club last year. And now from 12 yards out, while Costa Rica was barely hanging on, he's able to draw the penalty, convert it, and it seems like these teams are heading toward taking a point each after a goal each in the opening match of Group H. Can Jamaica use this and go forward now and find a winner off that momentum? Well, it's anyone's guess now as to when the final whistle will come. Oh, right there. No extra time added from that penalty by Ivan Barton. There's your final whistle. With a minute remaining, Jamari Clark tucks in the penalty. One for Jamaica, one for Costa Rica. After Costa Rica took the lead back in the 58th, Jamaica equalizes in the 98th. The teams take a point each after scoring a goal each, and that does it for the first match of Group H here in the 2022 Concacaf Under-20 Championship. From Honduras, Joe Malfa saying good evening.